The Archdiocese of Chicago is a vibrant and diverse faith community. We celebrate our faith through worship, evangelization, and reaching out to the needy. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Good morning, welcome to Catholic Chicago. I'm Father Greg Sackless, the rector for the Cathedral in Chicago. And seated to my left, dear friend Mark Teresi, who is co-chairing the 175th coming to a close, the 150th about to begin later in November. And it does so many things at Cathedral. Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Very good, very good.
How's your cold doing?
It's doing okay. I'm trying to stay away from you. So
It's that time of year with colds and flu and
right.
The changing temperatures, and but you're doing better today.
Oh yeah, and I'm looking forward to today's program. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We have a great program lined up. The Cathedral, having celebrated this past year 175 years as a parish, and on the verge of beginning our 150th anniversary as a cathedral, we have a great program lined up. We have in studio John Silver, Claire Gregor, who have co-chaired along with Mark, the 175th, and did a fabulous job. And by Zoom, Regina Zielinski, the Director of Stewardship for the Cathedral. To Regina, Claire, and John, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Great to have you. And how the year of the 175th just so flew by. It's just amazing. And now, when you think about it, when a parish has a 100th anniversary, 50th anniversary, 150, you do it and it's done. We are the only one in the Archdiocese that can say we had 175th as a parish, and now go 150 as a cathedral. And so maybe, not so much Mark, but John or Claire, how did this all begin for the both of you to get involved?
Well, it began with your invitation, your gracious invitation, I have to say, over lunch, almost 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, where you had an idea to celebrate 175 years as a faith community over the course of a year so that we could bridge to the 150th, and it was just a great idea. Honored to do this, co-chair with John. Mark was part of the team, Regina and Lori. It was just an honor to be. We had this awesome committee, Father Greg. You led it every month that we got together.
Well, the three of you quarterbacked the meeting, so you really led it with a great team. A question for you, John. We had that lunch. Why did you say yes to be a co-chair?
Yes, I mean, I've been a member of the Cathedral for about 20 years, been involved for probably a dozen or so, and very much have a great love and affection for Holy Name Cathedral, and I think it was a really great way to showcase the Cathedral for the general public and show what a wonderful place it is. So it was an easy yes.
Maybe explain for people a little bit how 175 relates to 150th. So 175th is a celebration of the faith community. Do you want to explain that a little bit for folks?
Sure. I mean, the parish was founded in November 18th, 1849, and existed for about 25 years. It very much grew along with the Archdiocese and the city, the English-speaking immigrants, and pretty much was functioning as a cathedral in the early 1870s. Then the fire came, leveled everything, and then when they decided to rebuild, they figured they would rebuild as Holy Name Cathedral. And when they opened the cathedral building, the same building we have now, November 21st, 1875, which is the 150th date itself, it was opened as the Cathedral of the Holy Name. So it was very much parish and cathedral at the same time.
I think you, John, along with Kevin Owens, had the history down so well, the cathedral. Now, Regina, by Zoom, if I'm not mistaken, you started a year ago, July, at the cathedral. So you stepped in, and we were just starting, or on the verge of starting, as a 175th. What are your thoughts? You walked into this whole beginning of 175 as a parish.
So I was excited to step into this role as the Director of Stewardship, and I remember my first meeting with Claire. and she laid out our plan for the year, and I thought, wow, this is a lot to cover in 1 year. But, you know, we had a wonderful committee, and the events just one after the other flowed so nicely. Everyone participated. Our attendance was just amazing, and it brought tears to my eyes to work with some individuals directly, especially for the Mosaic Project. But it felt overwhelming, but it really just, everything fell into place with much participation from our staff and the committee. It was just an amazing experience for me.
Many days I have tears in my eyes working with Father Greg. So.
Oh, those are not the tears I'm referring to. Father Greg gives me nothing but
Maybe we could talk.
Thank you, Regina. It's your last day, Mark.
Tears of joy.
Yeah, well, right, okay,
But it's been an amazing experience.
Whatever you say, Regina, okay. Here's what, maybe we could talk a little bit about, you talked about, Regina, the extent of the calendar of events. Maybe talk a little bit about how we got to that calendar of events, and maybe you guys could talk about highlights that you saw.
Sure. Well, so we started by collecting, I think we had 42 different ideas. Just went around to the different councils and the different ministries, and then we, kind of came back and played some back and saw what got some traction, and also funding, because we didn't want to put any pressure on the normal operating budget. We really anchored this, and I think this is what really helped it. We anchored it in our vision and our mission. We played to the three verbs in the mission statement: inspire, nurture, and join people on their faith journey. And I think, for me, that's what made this year so powerful. The power of a faith community is so meaningful as people are on their faith journey, to share sacraments, to share spiritual experiences, to share a meal, to share reflections. One thing we really tried to do was reach beyond just our parish. So we celebrated our parish, clearly, and we also celebrated the faith community around the Archdiocese. And that was really significant. We had events, the Children's Choir in March, the International Living Rosary that just happened in September, reaching out to different parishes, inviting them to come to the cathedral and be part of it. And for many people, that was the first time they were at the cathedral.
Right.
And hopefully they'll be back. So it was so fulfilling in so many ways.
Actually, a word that Regina used before, as we were launching the 175th as a parish, I did feel a bit overwhelmed with all that was going to be happening above and beyond what was happening every day. And yet the year went by so fast, and the events were incredibly beautiful, draw different groups of people. But now, a question for all of you, including Mark. I've been reflecting on this. As we conclude 175 years as a parish and about to begin 150 as a cathedral, how did this past year change and touch your lives?
Well, I think for me, do you mind if I start?
Yeah.
For me, what touched my heart was hearing the history that the faith community at Holy Name Cathedral began with two groups, a Sacred Heart League and the St. Vincent de Paul Society. And to think 175 years later, we're initiating and involved with the Cabrini Ministry, which is working with migrant families, with the poor, and Sacred Heart statue by Father Tony Branken was installed in the cathedral, and it was supported by Dr. Christine Lawless. I thought, there's a mystery there, that 175 years ago, these two important groups were founded by the parish in a spiritual sense, and 175 years later, we're still in tune with that. So that's kind of my
How about for you, John?
I would think, we always say the cathedral is, a very large parish with 6,000 registered households. And just like the variety of the people at the cathedral and the variety of the events that we had over the years. I mean, as Claire said, we had, dozens of ideas that were narrowed down. And we didn't really say, oh, we need a lecture series, we need an art installation, we need this. But it was just very much what people latched onto, but were people had energy behind, to get behind. And then kind of looking back at all of the different events, it was just really representative of the great variety of the parish. And we had, service events, we had, art installations, we had entertainment performances. It was a really good representation of the ministries and mission of Holy Name Cathedral.
How about you, Claire?
Well, and just building on that, because I think that's exactly right. Just seeing how people express their faith, because it's through so many different ways. It's through art, it's through music, it's through service, it's through listening to some of these stories. Dr. Christensen, when she commissioned the replica of Mother Cabrini that we had installed in Rome at St. Paul outside the walls, that was just, and just hearing her story of why she wanted to do that, why she wanted to gift the original sculpture that we have in our courtyard at the cathedral and then a replica. Listening to Dr. Lawless when she commissioned the Sacred Heart of Jesus and her love for Jesus. I mean, that was just so powerful, just listening to that. There's a photo of the International Living Rosary on the screen right now, and just listening to those parishioners and why they, came to join. So for me, it really has given me so many occasions to reflect on my own, how I practice my own faith. And that has been so powerful for me this year.
Do you remember what Christine said at our meeting? You had asked her, Christine, why are you doing this? Well, and she said, I just want people to know Jesus loves them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How beautiful
Simple,
is that?
Simple.
but so
Yeah.
profound. And now, last but not least, Regina, as you stepped in a year ago, July, how did this past year touch and change your heart?
Yes, actually, I mean, each event that I attended and helped with, I felt like my faith became stronger and within this faith community, and getting to learn and know more about each individual. Dr. Christine Lawless, Miriam Sweets, who underwrote the mosaic, the relationship that I established with Miriam Sweets, I just felt like I was brought to the cathedral for a reason, to meet Miriam. The relationship that I have with her and the connection that I feel with her throughout the entire project during the mosaic just makes me feel like my love for the cathedral, my love for this faith community, and my love for each individual that put their heart and soul into each of these events and projects. It just brought me closer in that way.
I mean, all beautiful responses. Even for me, it was more than just a series of events to go from one event in 1 month to another. But for me, it changed me in the sense that it better connected the past to the present moment into the future. I just love that sense of history. But I always tell people God is not found in the past. God is not found in the future. God is found in the present moment, connecting the past with the future. You do that in the relation of 175 years as a parish. I can't fathom how many people have gone through our doors in 175 years. But I think the one thing that really struck me was when Kevin Owens gave the history of the cathedral beside it, also John, is in the fire of 1871, it destroyed a great part of Chicago and was world known at the time. The thought that goes through my mind is the pastor in 1871 got up, no church, no rectory, no neighborhood, no city, no money. So talk about having a bad day. When you think about it, where do you begin? Where do you begin to say, not only is your church gone, but your home is gone, the neighborhood is gone, the city's gone, and they went to raise money for a new church. They raised $6,700 from the parish because it was a very, very, very poor Irish parish. So the pastor, along with the associate, went nationwide, and according to Kevin or John, raised about $260,000 nationally to raise the money for the cathedral. It became like a national effort here in Chicago. And that just really hit me was, you get up in the morning, you have nothing. How do you raise from the fire, from the ashes, but to trust in God for new life? On that note, Mark, take us to break.
We're going to take a little break. Catholic Chicago, Father Greg Sakowicz, Mark Teresa here with Claire Gregoire, John Silver, Regina Zielinski. We'll be back, talk a little bit more about the 175th, some highlights. But we'll also talk a little bit about getting ready for the 150th and what exciting things we'll be looking at. And one of the goals for the 175th was, what are some of the things that were going to happen in the 175th that become part of our tradition at Holy Name? So we'll be back in a few minutes. Please stay tuned.
I am a seminarian.
The Church needs compassionate and well-trained priests to help guide each of us through life.
What inspires me, what draws me always to the priesthood is continue to see priests be a beacon of hope for other people.
You can play a part in the education of these young men as they prepare for a life of service to others.
I want to be that beacon of hope too, and it sets my heart on fire.
To support our seminarians, make your gift at archchicago.org/seminarian fund or call 312-534-7959.
We're back. Catholic Chicago, Father Greg Sakowitz, Mark Teresi here with Claire Gregoire, John Silver, Father Boyford, and
Father Silver.
and Regina, Father Silver and Regina Zielinski, talking about our 175th, moving to the 150th. Also, we wanted to, during the break, we were saying, you know, a shout out to Father Tone, the Road to Emmaus, which was a beautiful event. Father Andy, who did all the logistics in terms of liturgy, but also the beautiful banners, and Lori Doyle, a lot of communication. The five of us, so Regina, Lori, Claire, John, and I, eventually morphed into the planning group. And then we met as a planning meeting with Deacon Dennis and with Father Greg before every meeting. There was a lot of organizing on your guys' part to say, let's not have any bumps in the road.
But also a shout out to the entire staff, because they went above and beyond beyond their area to be holding it. And also a shout out to Cardinal Blaise Supich, who is the pastor of the Cathedral for the 175th, now moving to the 150th.
So if anybody's listening in terms of their anniversary, one of the critical pieces, I thought, was the pastor, rector, Father Greg, being at every meeting. You want to talk about that a little bit? I think it endorsed the whole thing consistently.
Well, it showed commitment and involvement. So we knew what we were doing was something that was helping with the ministries that Holy Name Cathedral does all the time. We had 30 people on our committee,
and a monthly meeting
that got together once a month for an hour and a half for a full year. That's exactly right. And in addition to that, the groups. I mean, Mark just mentioned the Road to Emmaus. What a phenomenal event! That was a revival that was put Pentecost Sunday last year. That is hopefully going to be one of our recurring events, and that was led by the young adult community, and it's their leadership that is not just focused on young adults, but really throughout the parish. This is the next generation of leadership. And so that was an amazing thing. So we had so many people involved. The Cathedral Filipino Network that helped put on that actually did put on the International Living Rosary.
The thing that amazed me was every event we had was led by a different group. So it's phenomenal. Now we do want to take a moment though and invite people to the 175th, the 150th banquet. Say more about that at the Ritz.
We have
and Regina will bring Regina.
Yeah,
Regina
is the most.
Yeah, Regina, tell us about the 150th.
So it'd be wonderful. We're celebrating our Cornerstone Luncheon on Sunday, November 23rd. Mass at Holy Name Cathedral will start at 12:30, and the luncheon will follow at the Ritz-Carlton. The menu is going to be amazing. I would love to have whoever sees this join us. You can contact me at the Cathedral if you're interested and would like to purchase tickets. But it's going to be a lovely evening. Not evening, I'm sorry, a lovely luncheon.
How about your number for people?
Where are we at right now?
No,
your phone number.
Your phone number.
Oh, yes. You can call me at 312-573-4432.
The number
or
once
you can
more- one more time,
email me
Regina.
at rzielinski@holynamecathedral.org.
Okay, so we 312-573-4432, or go to rzielinski at holynamecathedral.org. Tickets are still available, and $175 per person. But again, as you mentioned, it may be a luncheon, but truly the menu is like an early dinner. It's going to be
Yes.
fabulous. And the
Exquisite menu.
the launch 150th at the Ritz-Carlton, and we're trying to fill the room up with a lot of people.
And an exquisite talk from Father Greg, I'm
Yes.
With a couple of jokes.
Yes,
Four joke
exactly.
minimum.
Now, John,
Four-joke minimum.
oh no. Why don't we?
Wait, just one more?
Can we mention that that follows the 150th anniversary Mass?
Yes.
That's at 12:15?
At
Right.
12:30.
12:30, I'm sorry,
12:30.
thank you,
It's with
12:30.
Mass at 12:30, done about 1:30, 1:40, and go
We'll
directly
walk
to
o- people walk
over to the
over.
Ritz-Carlton, hopefully for good weather. That's Sunday, November 23rd. All are invited.
Right. Now, John, I thought maybe we'd come back. One of the interesting stories for me is the mosaic. Because, not only because of the actual involvement of folks, which you can talk about, but also about how it was funded. There's a spirituality to this whole, and maybe Regina can talk about that. So why don't you start with the mosaic, how it happened, and then Regina, maybe you could come in and talk a little bit about, you talked about Mrs. Miriam Sweet. Talk about that story. Go ahead, John.
So the mosaic in our courtyard, we started about, about a year ago. We partnered with a local nonprofit, Green Star Movement, who works with different groups to help promote public art within the city of Chicago. And basically they will work with you to come up with a design, concept, imagery, and make something that will work as a mosaic. And then they will have your volunteers come to their site and help literally construct the tile, the grout work, and get it together. And you will help construct it, and then they will come, bring it to your site, and help install it. So it was really wonderful. Cardinal Supich came up with the theme, the Pilgrims of Hope, which kind of played in with the Jubilee theme as well, and worked with each other. It was really wonderful. We had more than 100 parishioners and FXW students that participated in, I believe, 5 different sessions that went from the prototype that you see there. It basically kind of extends on 2 different walls within our courtyard and really adds a lot of liveliness and color to that courtyard. So it was really a very successful.
I want to add
event.
that, wanted to shout out to Ken Hendrickson and Tanya Sanders,
Yeah.
who really oversaw the whole
PPC
project.
really did a great
Now,
job.
If you look at the mosaic, I know that Michael May has the shot up on the screen right now. In the upper part of it, there's a cloud. There's like thousands of pieces of tile to make up the mosaic. I have one piece that I put in. There's one
I knew we were going to get away from this show.
But what's critical is that one tile keeps the whole thing together.
Right, is artistic expertise. That's about it. Regina, what about Miriam Sweet? Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, Miriam, she touches my heart in a way I can't even explain. So shortly after I started at the Cathedral, Mark connected me with Miriam. And I remember sitting over here at the rectory during our first meeting, and the tears that rolled down her eyes. She lost her daughter in May of 2024, her 49-year-old daughter, Beta. She had cancer, so she lost her battle. And Miriam expressed wanting to create something in the courtyard that would be a home for her daughter Beta, that she would be able to come and visit after she goes to Mass every day. She wanted to visit the courtyard and see something that would make her feel like her daughter was at home with Jesus. And the mosaic production of it, I mean, I can't even sum up the amount of emotions that I felt during didn't witness every phase of it, but after seeing everything come into place and being part of creating the mosaic, and having Miriam being part of creating the mosaic, it was just very touching. So when they started the production of it, Miriam wanted her daughter Beta to be represented somewhere on it. And if you see the mosaic, the design, there's a woman at the beginning of her journey of life, and it's the woman in the red blazer. And during that life, she went through many phases of her life, and you can see, if you see the road leading up, she ended up, obviously, there it is. So if you see Beta, she has the long dark hair. She's at the beginning of her journey, and her journey through life would be being part of Holy Name Cathedral and becoming a parishioner here, and then just a journey going up to heaven is where she's at her resting place. But that is just something that Miriam wanted to be able to visit and witness that her daughter, and see that her daughter is somewhere in a better place. And she visits there. She's there every day. Every time I go through the courtyard, she's there saying prayers at the mosaic and just remembering her daughter. So that's her place of home.
It's a beautiful story. Now, Father Greg, you have another part of that story about the young boy from FXW.
Oh.
But
This is so funny. There's a beautiful grave marker at the very base of the mosaic. It's like being in the cemetery. It's a grave marker. Well, the first day was the markers in there in the courtyard, and the children from FXW school playing in the courtyard. Many of the children wouldn't go near there because they thought there was a dead body buried under the mosaic. And one kid ran home and said, "Mom, there's a dead body in the courtyard." And I didn't get any call from any parents, but it's not a grave marker like there's a body there. It's a marker remembering Beta in remembrance of her loss with her mother and sister. But there's a funny story where the children wouldn't go near that spot in the mosaic because there's a dead body there, but there's no dead body there. But the thing is, as I was listening to Regina, is we are all on a journey. There's a beautiful line that says, "Life is a mystery to be lived and not a problem to be solved." Life is a mystery to be lived and not a problem to be solved. In our journey, the highs and the lows, but in and through, God is with us. God is with us. As we leave 175 years as a parish and now launch 150 years as a cathedral, it's really not about the building, it's people. And the thing I always say is, you are the church, and together we are the body of Christ. Now, I may actually have that put on my grave marker, that you are the church, and together we are the body of Christ. They need a beautiful church, or in our sense a cathedral, gorgeous, but it's not the building. It's the people who make the church come alive. So we need to bring the program to a close. But again, Regina, one more time, details regarding the November 23rd, 12:30 Mass, presided by Bishop Larry Sullivan, followed by the lunch at the Ritz. So say more about that, Regina.
Yes, so again, it's the Cornerstone Luncheon, a gathering of faith and purpose. We will be joining, as Father Greg said, Bishop Larry Sullivan, Father Greg Siakowicz. It's going to be a 12:30 Mass at Holy Name Cathedral, and the luncheon will follow at 2 p.m. at the Ritz-Carlton. Please contact me if you're interested in joining us. I can be reached at the Cathedral, 312-573-4432, or you can email me at rzielinski, ZIELINSKI, at holynamecathedral.org. We're taking reservations till November 15th. Call me with any questions. I'd love to see you there.
I want to thank you in a very, very special way. This has been a phenomenal program, enlightening, and also great memories just to reminisce, but also a past connecting with the present. In the future, the journey continues. Thank you to co-host Mark Teresi. Well, folks, we're always giving each other a hard time.
I'll work on your gravestone when I get back to the office.
Mark and I, we go back September of 1973. We go back 52 years.
Yep.
I was 20 years old. Mark was 18, so we're best of friends. Special thanks also to John Silver, Claire Gregor, Regina Zielinski. It was so great working with you for the 175th. Now we're going to the 150th. But it's about the people. And I can't thank the community of Holy Name Cathedral. It took us to another level.
Yeah, it sure did.
With the help and grace of God, we don't walk alone. Also, special thanks to our producer and our director, great job in the studio behind the glass here, to Michael May, phenomenal job. So to our listeners, again, it's so important, be part of a community, to go to church, that God is with us. So all of you, may God bless, may the Bears actually win a game Sunday.